In a lot of our schools, the idea of feedback is limited to copy checking. So ticks, crosses, good job, excellent work, do it again. These kind of remarks do not tell a child too much about the quality of their work. Whereas feedback का मकसद ही ये होता है कि आप बच्चे को उसकी strengths acknowledge करने में help करें and जो areas of growth है वो identify करने में help करें ताकि the next time the child performs in an engagement, they're able to improve the quality of their work. So एक छोटी सी technique है which I'd like to share with parents and with teachers, because I personally believe that feedback should not be limited to copy checking, assignments, homework, classwork. Feedback can be applied to a lot of settings in our real life as well. तो जहाँ पे भी हम बच्चे को अपने learning process के बारे में सोचने पे मजबूर करना चाहते हैं, where we want to make learning visible for them, we should be giving them feedback. So इस technique को ladder of feedback कहते हैं, and it has 4 very simple steps. So you begin by asking clarifying questions, and for that you use statements like, I wonder why you did that. What were you thinking when you wrote this or did this? And obviously not in a very confrontational manner, but just like honestly being curious about their work. Then in the second step, you acknowledge the strengths of their work. So you can say statements like, oh, I saw what you did there. Or I like how you connected X with Y. These are the kind of acknowledgement wali statements which you can give to their work so that the children feel valued about the strengths of their work. Then you move on to concern. So concern show karne ke liye, you use statements like, I'm concerned that this perhaps can be improved further. Or my concern is, and so on, so on and so forth. You put a statement ahead of it so that you can identify an area of growth. And after that, you give them a suggestion based on the concern that you have identified. So you can say, I suggest that you do this as a result of, my analysis or whatever. This is what I can understand from your work, and I suggest that you go ahead and try this or do this. And at the end of it, there is a very short thinking routine that can be used to see whether you have been able to give the feedback or not. And that routine is called, I used to think and now I think. So if you are giving a written feedback, you can make the child write that. If you're giving an oral feedback, you can ask the child to fill in the sentence, fill in the blanks for this sentence. I used to think, da da da. जो भी उनका पहला ख्याल था अपने वर्क के बारे में. But after receiving this feedback, after this conversation, the thought process of the child has improved and now they think. So the child needs to fill in these 2 statements to wrap up the process, and this statement adds a layer of metacognition to the process of feedback because now the child is thinking about the process of thinking. So by doing so and by doing it regularly and inculcating this idea of receiving feedback in such a manner, you are going to improve your relationship with your child, because your child will know कि सिर्फ critique नहीं किया जाएगा, मुझे सिर्फ मेरी बेइज्जती नहीं होगी when I am not able to produce a work which is of the highest possible quality. I would be talked to in a very respectable manner, and I would be given areas to think about. The areas of growth will be identified with me by an adult, for me by an adult, and at the same time, if you do it recurringly, this will become a part of their own thinking process as well. So when they have to give feedback to someone, they try to incorporate these steps in it as well.